CWR. Margot James, former Conservative MP, now the Executive Chair of the Warwick Manufacturing Group at the University of Warwick, joins us this morning. Margot James, good morning to you.
Good morning, good morning.
Obviously, this is, again, potentially a huge employer, isn't it, for Coventry and Warwickshire?
Yes, it is. I think, Jeff's done and his team have done a fantastic job. And I'm very proud of my colleagues at WMG who negotiated the investment from the government into the Battery Industrialisation Centre. Approximately £120 million of public money was invested into the centre, and it's actually fantastic that it's opening now with all these new jobs.
And in terms of the future, obviously, we've heard a lot about how electric cars, we know that Coventry's at the forefront of things like autonomous vehicle technology, 5G will be an important part of that. Where does battery power fit into that?
Well, battery power is fundamental to the future of the automotive industry and indeed to quite a number of other sectors as well. We're researching the capability, the potential for battery power in short-haul air travel, for example, and in marine energy and in trucks. But the biggest opportunity is undoubtedly the automotive sector. And what we've got to do is to have the capacity in this country to produce enough batteries for the electrification of the large companies like Jaguar Land Rover and Nissan, for them to be producing cars using UK-produced batteries. That's the real opportunity.
Okay.
And that's the real driver of thousands of new jobs. I mean, it's great. We've got hundreds of new jobs at the Industrialisation Centre, but the potential is for thousands of new, well-paid engineering jobs, and in the supply chain, many, many more.
And just in terms of the size of this facility, Margot James, 18,500 square metres, £60 million of specialist battery manufacturing equipment is going to be based there. Is that actually going to be big enough?
Well, it is the start of something which will enable, as Jeff Pratt was saying, companies in the automotive centre to test the different battery options. It will be big enough for the smaller companies like Aston Martin to actually manufacture directly from the centre. But for the bigger companies like Jaguar Land Rover, it will require a much bigger facility. I think the implication of your question is quite right. What is needed in the UK is what's known as a gigafactory, which is capable of producing at a far, far higher rate of production. That's what's needed for the big automotive companies as they switch from petrol to diesel over the next 10 years.
So what are the chances of Coventry and Warwickshire getting a gigafactory?
Well, we are working very hard on it. We've got the Mayor, Andy Street's full support. Coventry City Council are working hard with Warwickshire District Council and many other stakeholders to make the case for a gigafactory to come to Coventry. There will be other parts of the country, of course, that are also making similar cases. I mean, the most important thing is for Britain to have one, or one won't be enough in the end, actually,
sure.
But Britain to have a few of these gigafactories. That's the most important thing. But obviously, WMG are working very hard with local stakeholders to make sure that Coventry is very well placed, as indeed it should be, at the centre of the ecosystem that drives so much of the automotive industry. We should be at the forefront, and that's where we intend to be.
It's important that we take this opportunity, isn't it, and see it for an opportunity, because we've just heard again this morning, as I'm sure you'll be aware, Margot James, the unemployment rate has risen again. The 3 months to September, 4.8%, redundancies at their highest level on record ever. So, you know, people in this particular part of the world are going to be hit by that. These jobs are high-skilled jobs. Do we have the skills in this area to take up the job opportunities that will be there? Because there is a worry, isn't there? There is a skills gap amongst the workforce. There is.
Well, there is, but I think the West Midlands is better placed than most regions in the country with the skill base it currently has. But you're quite right, we do need more. So, I mean, at WMG, we've taken on hundreds of new degree apprentices